One of the accusations is that you have 5 jobs. I see you 20 hours a day in this town, so I don't know how you do these 5 jobs. Can you respond to that to start the show?
I can assure you I spend more time in Bayonne than Patty Conahan does. I have only really one job, and that's to work on behalf of the citizens of the city of Bayonne. I was an assemblyman. I'm not an assemblyman any longer. You can't be an assemblyman and senator. The opposition says I'm both an assemblyman and senator. I'm not. I'm a senator. The people elected me to the position of senator. I'm the mayor of the city of Bayonne, which I appreciate the privilege, and I thank the voters of Bayonne for having elected me twice.
You do a great job.
Thank you. And I work very hard at it. And people can find me in City Hall at any hour of the day or night or on weekends. I'm not ashamed to say I work at the job. So those are my 2 primary jobs, working on behalf of the citizens of Bayonne. We have one of the best school systems in the state of New Jersey, the best urban school system. The New Jersey Magazine 2 years ago said that. And I'm proud of the school system. I'm proud that I've worked with our superintendent, Dr. McGeehan. All the teachers in the system do a great job. The children learn. You know, it's difficult for an urban district, and not only are we able to educate our children well, but we spend less money. We spend significantly less than the state average, over $1,400 less, and we educate them per student,
right.
And the quality of the school system, your children went through it, and we do a good job. We have a star school, we have a governance school of excellence, we do an excellent job, and the tax rate. This year, we were able to keep the tax rate for the schools at the same as it was in the last year. Again, people don't believe the tax rate is the same because nobody wants to believe taxes are the same. But in reality, taxes have stayed the same for 18 months, and the school system has stayed the same, but yet we get the quality out of it. Again, as senator, I brought $6.2 million of extra money last year. I brought it again this year. Pat Conahan could never do that. Pat Conahan would have to take the rest of his life to make even half of the contacts and the relationships that I've developed working for the people of Bayonne, for the benefit of the people. If you like the improvements to our parks, to new parks, if you like the way our school system is functioning, and now, if you like the way the fact we've done paved more streets than ever before in any period of time of any mayor, if you like what you've seen, then vote for me.
You changed. The city has changed. Skate parks, bike parks, everything you have changed. The North 40s project, the Halecki Park, the East Side never had the parks. You've done this. You've committed to this stuff. And part of the evolution, and I want to get this point out, is we're talking about the Golden Goose down here, the peninsula at Bayonne Harbor. Pat Conahan, former judge, has his plan released that he wants a container port.
Pat Conahan sent out a plan the Saturday before the election. We've had a plan for the last 3 years. The plan has won a number of awards. The plan that we have is a mixed-use development. What's mixed use? It means that not only will there be housing, there'll be office buildings, there'll be retail centers, stores, and shopping. There'll be hotels. There'll be the cruise port. There will be some marine uses. By marine uses, we're talking about things that relate to marine. At one time, and let me explain the history of the container port. At one time, I did support a container port. Why? Because I wanted to get this land.
Right.
If we had not been supportive of a container port, the Port Authority or the U.S. Maritime Administration would have taken this land, and the city of Bayonne wouldn't have gotten it. We were able to get this land, and we got it for nothing. Zero. Why do we get it for nothing? Because we were able to work with the congressional delegation, Congressman, now Senator Menendez, with President Clinton, with Senator Lautenberg, to go and get this property for nothing. Today, Fort Monmouth is being closed, just like we were closed in 1995. They're asking, and they're talking about asking the people down in Monmouth County for over $1 billion to $1.5 billion to buy that from them.
Have you gotten calls from people in Monmouth County to ask them how to approach it the way we did up here?
Absolutely. I've spoken to the mayors down there. I've spoken at a number of Chamber of Commerce meetings, business meetings, about how Bayonne did it. And they're envious because we have done it right. We got the land for nothing. But there was a caveat. We got the land, all of the land, in December of 2002. However, for the next 7 years, we can't use the money we make directly to support anything within the city. It has to be used to renovate.
The federal government wants their money.
Or the federal government wants their money. Has to be used for improvements to the peninsula.
So you've got about 3 years left of that 7 year.
We got 3 years left.
Okay.
The container port, I thought at one time we did it because we wanted to protect get the land, the container port's not the best idea.
Right.
There are more jobs in doing what we're doing now. Many more jobs, cleaner jobs. And the most important thing is if you build a container port there, nobody else wants to go there. They're not going to build housing. They're not going to build hotels. They're not going to build office buildings. Container ports are dirty. Go to Doremus Avenue in Newark and see what's there. Port Elizabeth, Port Newark. It's dirty, but most of all, the truck traffic, the noise, the pollution, and the security problem. 95% of those containers that come through are not expected. So we've created a situation where nobody else will want to build down there. All the programs like the cruise port, which we have a 35-year contract, $140 million. We just did Bayonne Bay, another $100 and some odd million for 30 acres. Figure it out, 30 acres, 100 some odd million dollars. In the end, it's over $3 million an acre. That's not going to happen. That money's going to come into us. The rateables we're going to get rateables that will, in the end, not only stabilize, but lower the property taxes. But you know what? It isn't done immediately. We've only had the base since 2002. We cleaned it up in 2.5 years. The federal government said.
A lot of work.
Okay,
Army Corps said
not
7.5
years. Immediately, let's give us a sense of time. How many years out do you predict?
Before you answer that, and one of the things that I'm proud of is that you were instrumental in keeping the Coast Guard in that maritime plan. You have the Coast Guard in your facility right there protecting your waters.
Protecting the waters. And, time-wise, you're talking about a build-out that will take anywhere between 10 to 15 years.
When are the tax relief coming along?
Tax relief will start, we can begin to start immediately in 2009 once that 7-year prohibition disappears.
Okay.
But as soon as we start getting taxes, which we have started to collect minimally from like Royal Caribbean, we're on the leases and on the land. But as we sell the property and they start building, the taxes will start coming in right away, the rateables. And when you build, people say, well, bring children. 160 units at the boatworks were built. Mm-hmm. Only 5 children come from the boatworks to attend our schools because what was built there is 2 bedrooms. The new Bayonne Bay proposal is senior targeted housing, which means it's targeted over 55.
More children out of Trask Avenue where that was built up.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Pat Conahan and the people behind him, especially Mike Mazzone, they had a personal interest in this. They were representing people who wanted to build a container port.
I want to interrupt you on that point because I think there's people that are for Judge Conahan who, with you arguing like this, I don't think you're going to win them over. I think even on the container port things, I agree with you. I happen to agree with you on that. But the people that have made up their mind in the other direction, I don't think they're going to be swayed by those arguments.
I don't think they will either. But the only thing I think that they will be swayed on is we want somebody who lives in Bayonne, somebody who's committed to this city, who has committed himself to this town. And again, Judge Conahan is a judge because he's not a district court judge. He was a city judge, appointed first by Mayor Kitchik and then reappointed by myself. And then I determined not to reappoint him, and I appointed the present judge.
And you did a good job. I'm proud.
Cheryl Scott. We had our disagreements, and so for that reason, I suspect that's one of the reasons why he might be running.